Let's review our project so far. We have here the DVD-ROM drive, our floppy drive, our hard drive, our DIMM or RAM chip. Here are the cards: the AGP or video card, the network card or modem card, and the sound card. This might be difficult to see, but by pointing out the components we installed, you should get a general orientation of how they fit inside the computer. Before we complete the assembly of our system, we have to install the temperature sensor. But first, it is important we talk about configuring your motherboard. Our motherboard we have chosen for this project is jumperless. That means we do not have to set any jumpers on the board to configure it. We will configure our motherboard through the BIOS, or built-in software, when we start the computer for the first time. It is very important that you set your jumper settings if your motherboard is not jumperless. If you do not have a jumperless motherboard, now is the time you should consult your manual and follow the directions for configuring it. You will want to configure your board so it is set properly for the CPU you have before you turn it on, or you may cause damage to the processor. Now let's finish up by installing the temperature sensor. This is where I'll insert the connector for the temperature sensor cable. If your type of motherboard provides this external measurement, consult its manual to find the right installation advice, but it will be very similar to the installation steps I'll show you now. After I plug the connector to the motherboard, I have to attach the temperature sensor, you see here at the end of the cable, to the metal heatsink of the CPU. The metal heatsink structure conducts heat away from the CPU and distributes it into a large finned area where the fan provides active cooling. I'll attach the temperature sensor to the heatsink very close to the CPU. The sensor measures the temperature and tells the system when the CPU gets too hot so that the system can control the cooling. Installing this is very simple. I'll tape it right next to the CPU on the metal heatsink to get a good temperature reading.